Alright, so these are sub-details of an electrical panel. I want you to understand here, this is a square D home line breaker in an Eaton panel. This breaker is not listed and tested to be compatible with this panel, although it does physically fit, although 99.9% chance that it's going to perform acceptably. This square D home line breaker has not been listed and tested for use in this panel, so that needs to be replaced. In addition, I've got debris down here in the bottom of my panel. I want to get rid of all this stuff. There are no foreign objects allowed in this panel, particularly not combustible foreign objects. Sometimes we'll encounter sawdust from a previous project or remodel that's filtered its way into the panel, or dryer lint, highly combustible materials. Terrible idea. You'll notice at the top of this panel that all of these cables are entering through a cable connector. That's perfect. A cable should never enter the panel without a bushing connector that performs both those functions for strain relief and then also for wiring protection, because these are non-metallic cables and they are susceptible to the metal edges of the panel itself if not protected. You'll see we have different kinds of connectors. This is called a Romex connector. It's a 2 screws, metallic connector, and then this would be a snap-in connector. It's really a one-time use. It's not as serviceable. I'm not a big fan because it saves a little bit of time for the installer, but it causes additional challenges down the road when someone wants to interact with this panel and bring additional circuits into the panel. These connectors are really not serviceable. You have to destroy them in order to remove them or to insert an additional cable. Well, I'm not a big fan because we do a lot of remodel work and that's not helpful. This screw that's used to secure the cover of the panel is dictated by the code. It must be a blunt tip. It must be machine thread. No self-tappers, no drywall screws. People make this error all the time. I'm always encountering older homes with all types of unsafe fasteners that are being used to secure the cover, and that's because you might penetrate a wire and create a dead short or a high resistance short, which is even more problematic to resolve. But regardless, these screws can be purchased at any home center, any electrical supply house. They probably cost about 25 cents a piece. I think they're overinflated, but they are required by the code. I highly recommend it. The panel is secured in 2 to 3 places on the sides. So you'll notice on the sides of the panel, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, there is a slotted knockout. That slotted knockout is what is utilized to drive a wood screw at an angle through the panel housing into the adjacent 2x4. Panels are designed to be 14 3/8 of an inch wide. A standard stud bay is 14.5 inches wide. That provides just a little play to get that in there. And then when the screws are snugged up, those 2x4s close in that 1/16 of an inch gap on either side. Got a good tight fit. And then 1/2 inch reveal. The face of the panel, just like our electrical boxes, because drywall is 1/2 inch thick, should be 1/2 inch in front of the face of framing so that we get a good finish fit with drywall if this space should ever be drywalled, for as a fire barrier, as an aesthetic move, for the purpose of installing shelving, racking, organization. We want that panel to be 1/2 inch in front of drywall. Also, working space requirements. That's a whole nother video, but we're about to jump into that.